So most of you are not aware of Logger. I will just give you a brief introduction why Logger is used. So whenever you're working with an application, either it might be development or testing, so you need to know what is your application behavior. Let's say your application is going in a particular module. Let's say very simple login application. So the particular login application is whether it's actually, let's say Google is our test case, right? So when you launch Google, you need to make sure whether this particular Google has been launched or not, either through some backend files or the front-end files. For that scenario, so there are some loggers which will allow you to write the route or the paths of the flow of the application. Let's say if the user is logging from admin page, or the user is logging for users page, so that we can check all the logs, the time, which timestamps, what timestamp the user has been logged on all. So Log4j is one of the API which is provided by Apache. It's an open source API. It's a simple, very simple Jar file. So you can download it with a Maven dependency or as a jar file directly from Apache portal. So this will allow you to write your logs. Either it might be error or it might be info log, debug log, warning or fatal, like that. All these logs, you can write these logs into a file or database, or I mean you can print in the console as well. So Logger has some levels, guys. So when you say all, let me type here. So when you say all, it will print all the levels, and when you say fatal, so it will print the logs which are only in fatal stage. Fatal will come only when the application is not responding, or application or the complete system is crashed. Such errors are called as fatal errors. And next level is called error level. So all the exceptions, errors will be in this particular error level. And warn is nothing but it is not an error, but still your system has some warnings, so that you need to, something might go wrong if you're not going to clear that. So it's just like a warning before your system is going into error state. And info is nothing but what actually your system is performing. And debug means it has more information than info level. Let's say if user is launching google.com, info will print user launched google.com. But debug, what it do is, it will say user launched Chrome browser, then it launched google.com. So more information will have than info level. And I think trace. So these are the levels in Logger. So these are the all level. When you say all, it prints all the logs of your application into a file or into a console, whatever it is. So when you say fatal will print application-based errors. So when your application is crashed, when a part of multiple applications is crashed, that type of errors will be the fatal errors. Errors are exceptions like file not found exception, number format exception, or let's say you will get some null pointer exception when your driver is not properly initialized. Such type of exceptions are covered under error type. Warning means it is not an exception, but still you need to fix that particular code leakage or something like data memory leakage and all, so that your system may not go to your error level. So that type of logs and all are called warning logs. And info logs are the logs which user will write specifically. So user will write specifically to print, right? Even these errors like error, warn, info, debug, this four will be written by user. So user will write these exceptions: error, warn, info, and debug explicitly to print into a file. So when you say info, then user, let's say user will type in, let's see in a practical example, then we'll have a better understanding. Info is nothing but whatever user is expecting, it will just get printed. So when you say debug, so it will print with more details. Let's say user launched google.com with the Chrome browser. So it prints with more details, and trace is nothing but it prints all the history, guys, whatever the history. If then what exactly happens is user is launching Chrome browser, then Chrome driver is initialized, then Chrome driver is provided, instance is provided to WebDriver instance, then WebDriver is initialized. So all types of trace logs will be printed when you're providing log as trace. Any queries, guys, here? So these are the levels in loggers. So when you specify fatal, it will print all the errors which are below fatal. Clear? So when your log level is fatal, it will print all the errors. When you say all, it will print all. So sometimes users may not print all, give all as the print level, because it might occupy a lot of unwanted messages and all. So your logger file size will get increased. So what is required for your application? Let's say if you want only error logs, it will print only error logs. If you want warnings, it will print only warnings. If you want info, it will print info, warnings, error, like this. Clear, guys? So you need to make sure that your logger file will have a good data to analyze the root cause of your exception or a problem. So it should have a valid data. Let's say if you're putting trace data into your log file, and there are only some errors of error which has log level of error and fatal, then it will be very difficult for you to debug what is your actual crash for your system. That's why you need to keep your log level either to error or warn. Suppose if you want to just see what is your application behavior step by step, then you can add info as your log level. When you add info, warn, error, fatal will be displayed. I will show you how to set this logger level, where exactly the configuration will be used. Before that, any queries on what are the logger levels? So are you clear with log level, guys? Any queries? What is fatal, error, warn, and all? Do you need any repetition on what are log levels? We are using Apache Log4j, guys, for this one. So any queries? Is it clear what are the log levels? Which is the highest level here, guys, in the logs? Fatal is the highest level, because when you declare fatal, it will just print error, warn, and all the other level as well. Clear? So now how do you implement this loggers? So you want to download a jar file, or if you are using a Maven project, you just specify this have already used this logo here. So here is my particular interface, actual message plus. If it is info, you will just print the message. Otherwise, if it is error, print actual message stack trace. So this of a log file, typical log file what we create. So date and timestamp here is which date and which timestamp we need to know. So let's say if your test script is executing for 10 minutes, test suite is executing for minutes, at which particular time you have executed, we need to check that. So that's why we need date and time, and in which class it has been this error has occurred. So let's say if the same message will be there in 5 to 10 classes which it has implemented. So to specifically identify which class you are going to give that one, you are giving this class or interface name, then the actual message, what you are going to print in the logs, or if it is error, if so, this is the format of your log which is generating. For every log, you should generate in that particular format. So you will write the appender like this. So appender is nothing but output, whatever the logs you want to print to the whatever you're displaying here. So let's say you're displaying for standard output, it will append to the console output. Then what is the targeted one is system.out.println, which is nothing but to print here. And the pattern, as I told, what is the pattern we need to specify. So this is the pattern where date and timestamp will come, and you'll have some space on the class name here and the actual message here. So this is the conversion pattern of regular expression of the message which is have file here. So for file, log4j appender is there. Then what is the file? Rolling file up the class, which will write these logs to file, then what is the file location where you want to save this file? Let's say I have given C drive, then logs folder, and this is the application. So this is the logs which has printed. So let me delete this application log file. Now it should generate a application.log file automatically, and it should write all the logs which is generated by that particular application. And you can provide what is the maximum file size, like 5 MB or 10 MB. If it is beyond 10 MB, then it will stop printing that particular logs. So backup index is it's like, for example, if you are writing your buffer, so all the logs will be directly written to buffer, appender buffer. So your appender buffer can have up to 10 indexes where it can store even after the file is being filled for writing. So this is the pattern layout. As I told, this is the pattern which I have explained you here in the printing format. So if you see here, so this is the date format which it is referring here, and class or interface is this one, and this is the actual message and stack traces. So this is the overall pattern for writing these logs into your file. So like this you can create for DB also. So then here you need to write the characteristics which is specific to database, so that you can figure out how you need to, what are the characteristics that will come. Here you need to provide the what is schema name, what is database name, username, password, and what is the table that you need to map this particular queries to go on, particular logs to go and fill the table. Like that you can give here in the logger. So for now we will see how to print loggers in console as well as into a file. So any doubts in this configuration file, guys? So these configuration files, log4j.root logger, this will be automatically read by your jar file which is sitting here, this log4j jar file. And when you are writing these logs, it will use this particular data which is available here, which particular file it need to write and what format it need to write, and it will use this data dynamically inside, and it will execute the particular loggers, guys. So any queries in log4j before we see the actual implementation? So are you clear? Do you need any repetition, guys? Okay. So except Vaishali, any other queries? I'll repeat it once. So before that, any queries? Okay. So in Apache Log4j, so there are some log levels. Not only in Apache Log4j, whenever you're implementing any logger, so there are other loggers also in the market. So there are some different levels like fatal, error, warn, info, debug, and trace. These are the traditional log levels which every logger will have. Okay. So fatal is the highest level. Below fatal, error, then next level is warn, like this. So when you are using fatal, this is the highest level. It will print all the errors which are fatal only. If you say error, it will print error logs as well as fatal logs. Both the logs will be included. If you are saying warn, it will print fatal, error, and warn logs only. When you say log level, when you set the log level to info, it will print all the log levels of fatal, error, warn, and info. So why is it differentiated is because just to save the log file size. When you say debug, a lot of unwanted information and all will be available. So that will fill this particular file size. So that's why these log levels are there. So when you say the log level here in a configuration property file into error, it will print the error and fatal messages only. So when you set to info, it will print all the messages like info, warn, error, and fatal. So these are the log levels. So to work with log4j, so you need to download the jar file. So this is the Maven dependency to download that particular jar file. So we have provided that Maven dependency in POM. So this is the log4j, and we have provided in the POM. So now once you create that dependency into your project, the next step is you need to create a property file named log4j. Your name should be as it is, guys. Otherwise, it will not recognize your properties which is to be used by your logger. So can we use appender in any other property file? So let me tell you this property file, Pallavi. I'll explain your question later. So root logger option. So this is the log4j.root logger. So this key will set the log level which is to be printed and where it is to be printed. Which level of the log. When you say info means, so warn, error, fatal logs will be printed, right? So when you so that logs, what logs you need to print and where you need to print. So that information will be carried in root logger key, log4j root logger key. So the next is, so you have asked to print in console, which is nothing but standard output, and in a file. So you need to provide some properties in which particular format you need to print, and where exactly you need to print this particular standard output. And also you specified file. You need to provide some properties like which particular file you need to print and where is that particular file available, and what is the file size of that particular file, and what is the maximum backup index, and which pattern it need to write the log files. Clear? So this information we are using this particular loggers. So now standard output is there. So when you say standard output, so appender is nothing but it will just append your output, whatever you're writing in your code, the logger code. So that will append to your standard output, or it will convert into a particular standard format. When you say layout, standard layout, so it will start creating particular pattern here or pattern layout here. So now we are telling to print your standard output here in the date format. So once your date format is fixed, then you are asking which particular class name or what type of spaces or what type of indentation you need to provide, like this. So this is the particular format for your standard output. Similarly, you have provided your file here. When you are saying file, you need to provide which location you need to write that particular file. So you no need to create any file. You just make sure that your directory is available till there. So under C drive, I created logs folder. So you no need to create this particular application.log. So always your log folder will be saved with .log extension. So once you start your executing your log, if the log is already not available, it will start creating a new file in that particular location and start appending the data to that particular file. Clear? So the file creation is not mandatory, guys. It's optional. You can create and save the file, or it will automatically create the site. So then you have maximum file size here. So how much size the file should go. So you cannot occupy the complete hard drive space or something like just for the logging purposes. So then you have a maximum backup index. So when you say maximum backup index is 10, so it will tell what is the backup file size index. Let's say application log 1 is created here. Sorry, here. So here application log file is created here. So like how many backup files it can create, like 1, 2, when due to some conditions, some exceptional conditions, the actual file might be corrupted. It cannot write or it cannot read for the application.log file. So it will create a backup file and it will start writing this particular data to this backup file. So you are specifying what is the index of that particular backup file in that rolling appender. Then it is like a layout. Layout is nothing but pattern, which pattern your log should be generated. So when you said file, these properties are belonging to file. So like this, you can write for database also. So your database will have log4j appender dot then database properties here. From here we have file properties. So when you use database, you will have database properties like what is the database server name, port number, then what is the schema name, what is the username, password, then you will have which table you are wanted to write, and what is the query for that table. So once you specify all those particular data, then it will stop putting these logs into database. So clear, guys? So any queries? So this maximum backup index will return the value of index maximum backup index option. Let's say if you are saying it's 10, so 10 backup files might be created if the file size is full or if something is happening to the actual file which is specified in the file path. So this will come into picture when let's say if 10 MB is filled to this application.log, then it should erase this actual file and it should write data. So before erasing, it will create application log.backup, so application.backup.log file. So like this, we are telling we can create up to 10 files. So are you clear with logger properties? So are you clear with this logger, guys? Any queries? are you clear with complete this why this configuration property file log4j property file is used? It's very simple. So you are specifying here standard output. So you are using the standard output properties to print in the console, and you're specifying file. So you're using the file. So this is nothing but log level. So this you can play around based on what logs you need to print out. So any queries why this log4j properties file is used? Okay, let's see the implementation, guys. How exactly we are going to implement. Let's implement for Facebook registration test. Yeah. Say. So where exactly we need to start logger? Can anyone answer this? Where you need to start logger? Before starting the driver. Okay. So your logger will be initialized only once. So that initialization will be used across your Java class, guys. Let's say this Facebook registration class. Let me copy this. So your logger will be declared like final static logger log equal to so logger dot. Think it's not new logger. It's logger dot. You can import this logger Apache log4j. Get logger, and what is the class name dot class. So like this you will initialize your class name so that when you are writing with this log, so let me name it logger only. So final static, because your logger instance will not get changed anywhere, the same instance will be used across your complete class. So we have mentioned as static final, and which particular logger you are going to use. So it's Facebook registration test page. So that particular class name dot class. Now let me use this logger instance here. Now where exactly I will print? I need logging, guys. It's not only before starting the driver, Neetu, like anywhere. So if user is having a suspect, or if user is skeptical whether he is going to a particular part or not, if user needs to monitor, if user might think if error will come in that particular scenarios, so anywhere user want to use logger, he can use. Now let's use logger here. Logger dot. What are the levels, guys? Info. What are other levels in logger? Error fatal all. Yeah. Okay. So now this is an information. So once Chrome driver is initialized successfully, we are having the initialization here. Logger.info. We will tell that a message like Chrome browser is successfully initialized. Then let's say you can just copy this complete error and paste in exception section. What exactly do you write in exception section, guys? Here. What type of log you need to write here in exception section? It is error log. Yeah, it's an error log. And message can be any of your message. Let's say failed to initialize Chrome driver. So you can print the message also, e dot get stack trace or get message. So just make this clear. So this is how you specify error when you in your error logs. So information is nothing but info whether that browser is hitting that particular section which you're expecting or not. Now let's say here user launches Facebook here. So then provide so let's say logout.info. Then type a message here like Facebook is successfully launched in Chrome browser. Then you can give with URL like you can pass your test data here. Clear? So like this you can create info logs, error logs, fatal logs everywhere in your machine, in your application. So user entered username in login in registration page. So what is the username that he has passed? It's argument 0. Just pass this one. So like this, let's write for a couple of logs. Entered surname. Okay. Now let's execute this one, guys. Let's execute this and check how exactly the logs are printed in console based on our configuration file, and whether in this particular location the application.log, or let's say this application we are writing for Facebook. Let's name it as facebook.log, facebook_testing.log. So let's see whether this particular file is created or not. Clear? So to run this, which particular feature is that? Guys, it's like Google. It's not Google, it's Flipkart. It's Facebook registration tag. Copy this tag. Where we need to provide this tag, guys, for execution? What is the option that we need to use in runner class for executing that particular feature? We have already provided the path of the features. It is the features folder. It's already provided. So dry run equal to false. It should be false actually. It will come under tags. So you are controlling the tags execution. So clear. So we have provided Facebook registration scenario tag to execute, and our dry run is false, so that it will start executing the actual code. And let's see how our loggers are behaving for this particular test scenario which we have written. So it started the execution. So since it has two data table rows, it has executing twice. So let's see the console here. So it has not printed anything in console. So any reason, any guess why? So because we have kept our log level into error and there is no error logs, okay? So because no error logs, nothing has been printed. Let's keep the log level to info, and you can just check this Facebook testing .log has been created in this particular location, but no logs are printed because your logs level is set into error. Now let's keep this log level into info and re-execute the same scenario. So are you clear, guys? Why it has not been executed? Why no logs are executed? Yeah. So because there is no error. If the driver initialization has been failed, error would have happened. Then we will be something has been printed in that particular errors. Why exactly it has been failed? So different log levels is not required to provide. So you can just provide like info debug like this. When you say debug, it will print all the logs which are belonging to info error war like that. So only one level you need to specify. That's why the log priority is set here. So when you say error, it will print only fatal and error logs. The other logs will be not printed. Now we are setting the log level to info. It will print error logs, warn logs, fatal logs. So you cannot specify both info as well as error in the log configuration file. Now if you see here in the first scenario execution, so these are the logs which we have written. Just give me a second. Yeah. So this is the date format as per our pattern which we have specified. Then what is the log level? It is info debug warn like that. Then what is the particular class, on which line number of the particular class we are writing that particular information. Let's say Facebook test here. If you see here, log.info Chrome browser is initialized. So it is line number 32. So that line number is specified here. And what is the message that we have printed here? So these are the log messages that we are writing. So all the messages is been printed for the first scenario. The second scenario as well, the same class is executed. So again, the logger is active and it is listening for the class behavior, wherever we have kept our breakpoints to monitor the scenario. If you see the log, Facebook testing.log, now some data has been there. It's around 1 KB. So this is how it will be written to an external file as well. The first scenario, it is the log file. The second scenario, it is the log file, which has been printed here. So are you clear how to, suppose if you want to write some other types of logs here, let's say warning logs, logger dot warn. Chrome browser has started with some minor errors. Let's say warn here instead of log, and let's re-execute this one. So it will start printing the log level into warn. So user can open this particular file and he can check only that warning levels. What are the warning levels here? So if you see here, the log level has been changed here. So it's warn like info. So then you can check browser has started with some minor. So these are the warnings. So if any error has been occurred, you can write all the in all catch blocks log.error, so that whenever it's entering into a catch blocks, the error will be figured out. So are you clear how to use this logger, guys? So the setup is very simple. Just download the jar file, create log4j.property file in your path, then provide root logging level and what is where you need to exactly print. If you want to print in standard output file database, wherever you want to print, just print, give that and provide the properties as per your configuration. So once that is done, then the initialization of your logger is final static logger. So because you are using the same, your logger will be only one instance. So that's why we are declaring as final static. Then what is the class name that you are going to print here? So Facebook registration test dot class. Then you can use this particular instance. Then you can check for all the levels. Like you can log fatal error. So you have many other options. You can keep on bugging this. So are you clear in implementation of this logger, guys? Okay. So this time we have executed again. So it has started the warn. This is what we have changed during our second execution. Instead of info, it was like Chrome browser is successful initialized. Now we have changed that into a warning message, like a Chrome browser has been started with some minor errors. So when you open these log files with some editors, specialized editors, logger editors, you will see this with the different colors, warning with different colors, info with different colors. Then it will be easy for a developer or automation tester to debug into his application. So clear, guys? Any queries in log4j implementation? Let's see database now. Just give me a sec. I just wanted to check one of the presentation here. Guys, let's have a quick break for 5 minutes and we'll be back after 5 minutes. Is that fine? So post break we'll discuss about database, MySQL database with JDBC, Java JDBC. Okay, let's break out now.